Well, we did it today. Dow closed above 25,000. Wow, 434-point gain today. Federal Reserve announced no more raising interest rates. Apple actually started the day off with a solid earnings report. That's kind of what got everything going today. And then with the Fed news, it just kept going higher and higher and higher. It was over 25, and then it dipped below 25, and it didn't look like it was going to close above 25, but it did. Closed at $25,014. Wow, we're back up there again. It hasn't been over 25,000 since sometime in December. So it's been a little while, a couple months. I guess not quite even, but maybe 5-6 weeks, something like that. But sometimes when that crosses a barrier like that and it falls back down, you think it's never going to get back there, and sometimes it doesn't. So it's good. It's good to see the Dow back over 25,000 for sure. Nasdaq was up over 2% today, 2.2%. Closed at 71.83 for the Nasdaq today. We had one huge mover today, a stock that we've talked about before that's been on an absolute tear lately, is AMD, Advanced Micro Devices, up 20% today, 20%. Closed at $23.09. Wow. Biotechs were up big today. Sarepta, SRPT, up 12%. What else? ImmunoGen, IMGN, up over 7%. Spark Therapeutics, ONCE, up 7.5%. And a ton of biotechs up anywhere from that 3 to 7% range, all across the board today. Some other stocks that were up pretty big. iRobot. iRobot makes the Roomba, the remote control vacuum cleaner. Not remote control, but battery operated one. You don't have to work. You don't have to push around by yourself. iRobot stock is up $7 today, up over 8%, closed at $91. I remember when that stock was 15. I actually had some when it was 15, and I sold it. Of course, we've talked about that before too, selling stocks and then having them go way up. At one point, iRobot did get to over 100, and then it fell back quite a bit. I think back down into the 60s, and now it's back over $91 today. All the technology, with the Nasdaq being up so much, a lot of the technology stocks were up today. NIO, it's called the Tesla of China. It's up 7.5% today. Apple, like I said, we had a good day today. I believe they missed on revenue, but there were some bright spots in the earning report. They were up almost 7% today, back over $165. So that's kind of what kicked the day off today, which is that everything was up this morning, and then everything just went crazy once the Fed announced they weren't going to raise rates anymore. So that's kind of how we ended up where we are. And a lot of stocks, just a ton of stocks up 3, 4, 5%. Tesla up 4% today. I believe they have earnings here after the bell closes today here or tomorrow. Someday this week. I believe Tesla is reporting earnings, so I'm sure that'll be a huge move one way or the other. Let's see. Some stocks that I was going to talk about that were down today. So there's another flip of this coin, even though even though there was most stocks, say probably 90%, I would think, were up today. But there were some stocks that were down. Some of them because of earnings. You know, if you report bad earnings, even on a good day like today in the markets, you're probably still going to finish down. Site One Landscape Supply, ticker symbol SITE, down 7% today. That's got to be a bummer. If you're holding that stock, seeing the market just fly today and having your stock be down 7%. AT&T was down over 4% today. Those were really the only big names that were down very much. Walmart was down a couple percent. Biogen was down 2%. But other than that, almost everything was up. One thing I did want to talk about with these smaller cap stocks, when the market is up this big like it was today, and if you're trading these smaller stocks and they weren't up today and it had nothing to do with earnings, they just weren't up, you need to get rid of them right away. If you own a small company that was down today, it's a loser. Plain and simple. We talked about a stock just yesterday. Vuzix. Talked about that a lot yesterday. VUZI. And I talked about how that stock is going to zero, how that company is basically a scam. Guess what? They were down 1% today, even though the Nasdaq, this is supposed to be a technology company. So I'm obviously not the only one who sees through this company. They were down, even though the market was flying today. Nasdaq was way up. Anything has to do with technology was up. Vuzix was down today. If you have seen my previous video, and if you saw the moves in the market today, and you still own this stock, you deserve to lose anything you invested in it. Because that's exactly what's going to happen. Another one that we talked about not too long ago, I basically dedicated an entire market update to Clovis, CLVS, Clovis Oncology. Yes, they finished up. They were down most of the day. In the last minute of trading, there was some buying going on there. But I mean, even in a day like today, they finished up 0.5%. Even 0.5% in a biotech stock today is terrible. If you're a biotech company, a small company, and you weren't up 3-4% today, at least 1% at worst. Even 1% wasn't a very good gain today. If you're down most of the day and then you squeak out a 0.5% gain at the end of the day, that's another one. I think it was January 17th. If you go back and watch that video, I talked about Clovis, how that company is an absolute scam. CEO had to pay. This isn't just my opinion. It's fact. Him and his CFO paid a fine because they misled investors and patients, flat out lied about the efficacy of the drug that they have. And while they were doing that, they bought and sold shares of the company. So if you have seen that video and still own Clovis or know what goes on with that company, you deserve to lose all of your money. Another company that was down today, and this is an interesting story. If you've ever heard of Valeant Pharmaceuticals, another scam of a pharmaceutical company. What they did, if you've ever heard of the Martin Shkreli guy who bought up a small biotech company and then jacked up the price of the drug 10,000% or whatever it was. This company did this on an even much bigger scale. That was their business plan, their business model is to buy up all these small drug companies and then jack up the price of their drugs. That was their business model. And once they got caught, once they came under fire by the SEC, what did they do? They changed their name. That's right. They changed their name. Now they are Bausch Health Companies, ticker symbol BHC. Another scam. Stay far away from BHC. They were down today. I think those are the only two pharmaceutical companies that I could find that were down today. I guess Clovis finished up a little bit, but maybe Bausch was the only one I could find that was down. It was down today. Okay. Because people know. Okay. The insiders know. The only people that get fooled sometimes are the people that I hope that are watching this. I don't mean to criticize you, but maybe you don't follow the market that close and you come across a Bausch health company and think, this looks like a promising company. And you don't know the history. Well, now you do. Stay far away from Bausch health companies. Okay, let's get out of the negativeness here. If you have any question about any of those ones I just mentioned, comment or send me a message. And if you have any comments, concerns, or issues with those three companies, let me know. So a couple other that I noticed were up good here today was Boeing. I'm a big fan of the, even though the stocks have went up so much, but they continue to go up, are anything to do with like aerospace, space travel, any, not necessarily airline stocks, but anything, that's going to be a huge, it might be decades away, but, when you talk really, futuristic, investing, it's companies like Boeing, Lockheed Martin. What's the one Elon Musk has? SpaceX. SpaceX is a private company, but Boeing, Lockheed Martin are companies that you can invest in. Right now, Boeing is up 6% today. Not sure what Lockheed Martin did. I'm sure it was up, not quite that much, but I'm sure it was up. That's one of those companies, where they're just going to be, any time a market has a good day like this, they're going to be up because people know what's up. They know it's a company down the road that's going to make you a ton of money, and the stock is, you can't time certain things. I'm sure it'll have a pullback. It's not like we're never going to go into a recession again. And that's going to be the time. Those would be the opportunities. Don't panic like some of these people do, like 2007, 2008. Don't panic. Be patient. And that's when you can get a Boeing or a Lockheed Martin or any of these companies like that on sale. Now, I don't know, you could hold on and wait. Long run, you'll be fine, even if you buy now. But, if you really want to make the big bucks, is when the market takes a turn for the worst. That's when you get a 50%, discount on today's share price. That's when you buy as much of those as you can. And it's probably going to go down some more even after you buy it, but don't panic. There's certain companies out there that are just going to be around forever. They really will. They're just going to continue to get bigger and bigger and bigger. If you're in the right industry, okay? I don't think there's any arguing that, if you read any technology magazines, Time magazine, or read any, read a lot of articles about technology, or see what, Elon Musk is doing, see what Jeff Bezos is doing. It all involves space travel, going to Mars, setting up a colony on Mars. So these companies that have a hand in that, they are going to, their profits are going to grow so fast once this whole just like the internet, when once companies started realizing how to monetize the internet, I mean, look what happened. Look at all these companies in biotech. Look at all these biotech companies. Gilead, a company like that, who found a cure for hepatitis C. Like, if you can get into these companies before the big news really hits, before somebody sends a big rocket to Mars, Before that happens, if you can get into one of these companies, driverless cars is going to be another avenue where you can make a ton of money if you pick the right stocks in certain industries. So and I've said before, that's why I'm doing this. I want to benefit too, but I want to get some sort of conversation going, and I want to help other people find these companies as well. I'm sure somewhere along the line, I'll come across and mention a company that's going to be a huge winner down the road. If you can do your own research, take some of the hints, some of the different companies that I throw out there, and do your research, I guarantee you there's one in there and stay away from the bad ones. That's why I try to point out the bad ones too. If you can, that's a huge part of investing. Like Warren Buffett says, one of the biggest part of investing is just don't lose money, right? So sometimes the biggest benefit to you as an investor is to stay away from the Vuzix, the Clovis Oncologies, the Bausch healthcare companies. If you can avoid those companies and get into industries, into companies that are actually doing something, that are actually going to be around long term, then you can have a huge pile of money. And then it's just a matter of saving that money, putting it away in an account, and not touching it. Don't say, oh, I have to sell my Tesla shares, I have to sell my Boeing shares because I have to pay for something. No, you have to hold on to those. This isn't something that happens overnight. Yes, some of these small biotech companies can double, triple in a very short period of time. But if you really, long term, want to make a ton of money, you buy these companies that you know are going to be around, that have futuristic technology, and you hold on to them as long as you possibly can. Pass them on to your children if you can. That's the name of the game. Okay. Oh, another one that I didn't mention, I don't think, was Freeport. We talked about Freeport a lot. FCX, Freeport, up 8% today. Freeport is one of the world's largest and the United States' largest copper miner. I go from talking about technology to copper, but they are intertwined. Battery operated cars require 4 times as much copper as a normal combustible engine does. 4 times more. So if this electric battery powered vehicle trend keeps going in the way that it is, just think how much more copper is going to be used in the future. And copper mines are growing older. Easy copper has already been mined. So Freeport, this is one where it's not too late to get in. It's not at a high right now. It's actually, it's only sitting there at a little over $11. This is a stock that was when copper was up to, $4 a pound. This stock was at around $60. And I don't think it would take much. It's not going to happen overnight, but I'm talking in the next few years. This is a stock that can get back to that $60 range. That's over 500% gain from where it is now. Okay. That's one I don't think you want to day trade. You just want to buy it and you want to hold on to it. It even pays a dividend, almost a 2% dividend. Okay. Let's keep this rally going in the markets tomorrow. Let's not have a huge letdown after the Dow closes above 25,000. Tomorrow is Thursday already. Hopefully the kids go back to school tomorrow. It is 30 below zero right now outside. That's right. 30 below zero here in North Dakota. Not supposed to be much warmer tomorrow, but I hope the kids go back to school because they're starting to drive me a little nuts. If it weren't for the stock market, I'm not sure what I would do. So, all right, we will talk to you tomorrow after the market closes. Please, please subscribe if you're watching this. Um, please hit the subscribe button. Let's get some conversations going. Let's make some money.